Find insight, guidance, and answers. Tune into Spirit with radio medium Laura Lee.
Life has a way of teaching us that protection comes in many forms, and sometimes through spirit and sometimes through practical choices that we make. Like, what if something happens on the road? Insurance, we think, will take care of us. But what if the other driver doesn't have enough coverage or none at all? If you're wondering how you can safeguard yourself and your loved ones, you aren't going to want to miss this Know Your Worth series right here with Todd Bresney from Kanoski Bresney Lawyers to learn about uninsured and insured motorist coverage. Todd, for those who may not know, can you explain in the simplest of terms what that means?
Yeah, so some states like Illinois, for example, requires the insurance companies to give you the same coverage in a situation like you laid out when somebody who hits you and causes you injury doesn't have enough insurance, they got minimal insurance, or they have none at all, which there's a lot of people on the road just like that. If you have fault insurance of $100,000 to cover you for if you make a mistake and harm somebody, then automatically you should have that $100,000 for yourself when somebody hurts you. This is called uninsured motorist and or underinsured motorist coverage, usually denoted with a UM or UIM in your policy. That's what that means. And it's very important that people understand that because that's the most important coverage you could have. And you don't see this on their advertisements, just how cheap their insurance rates are. The problem with insurance is it's contractually based. That means they can rewrite the law and you have to agree with it. So for instance, this UM coverage, you don't get to sue your insurance company if they decide not to pay you in court. They are allowed to go around your constitutional right to a jury trial and instead engage in what's called an arbitration process, which basically a court system, but with three lawyers are the quote unquote judges. And then your lawyer has to fight just like they're in court, but without a judge or a jury. I'll tell you, the insurance industry knows this is the most important insurance coverage. And they've attacked it, number one, with those arbitration clauses. And they've attacked it more recently with trying to limit your coverage without you knowing it.
Interesting. We're living in a time where people feel vulnerable and unprotected. Why is it important for our listeners to understand that this coverage is important right now more than ever?
Listen, I make my living off of making sure insurance companies do what they should do without me. That means that a lot of times we have to file suit against people who are at fault, and the insurance company squeezes in and they defend them, but they ultimately have to pay. I will tell you, in 30 years, with the exception of drunk drivers or heinous instances of horrific cases, if you don't have enough fault insurance, most lawyers aren't going to go after your personal assets. But when you're hurt and you need this UM/UIM coverage, that's the most important coverage. And insurance companies now are trying to offer low rates, and they'll say, we'll insure you for X amount for when you're at fault. But if you don't read the fine print, you'll go to your UM coverage, your uninsured motorist, which applies to you and covers you, and it'll be much lower. And they won't tell you that. And before you know it, you don't have that coverage and you think you do. And if you get harmed really seriously, it's not there to protect you.
That kind of makes me think, then what the heck are you paying for?
Exactly right.
For someone listening today who wants to feel more protected, what do they need to look for on their policy exactly?
First thing they do is they need to ask their insurance agent and or the insurance company themselves for a verified and certified declaration page. It'll give all your coverages on one page and tell you how much you're paying for it. It's that UM/UIM section that you want to be mindful of looking at and make sure it's at least as much as the liability coverage that you have on your vehicle.
That's great wisdom. Everybody check that out on your statements immediately. And where can our listeners find you and the work you do?
Bresney Law, BRESNEY, law.com, or they can call me directly at 1-888, the letter U, the word count, and the number 2.
Wonderful. It's a pleasure, Todd. Thank you again. And if you like this segment and you want more, please remember to subscribe, and you can tune into your spirit each and every day by subscribing to the podcast on your favorite forum.